Welcome to the Radioactive Podcast. Just a quick reminder. Yeah, I see you, Hutch. It is radioactive for a reason. So if you got little kiddos hanging around, in case you're new here, you might want to put them in the other room watching Sesame Street or something, son. But watch Sesame Street. They done went woke. I am John with Prepper Nation. This right here is Backwoods, and he is getting ready to hit a significant number on his channel. In case y'all want to go subscribe, the link is down below.
Do not sympathy
Don't.
subscribe to me. Do not.
Go check him out.
Yeah.
If you like what he has to say today, then go check him out.
I do not want sympathy subscribers, man. That's
Well, you get no sympathy from me, son.
just because someone said so. I mean, who the hell are you? I mean, just go out there and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, me, I'm nobody. But this is Backwoods. He's infamous within the community, and we about to get radioactive. Who we got in the house? Handy Prepper, Salty Dog. Thank you, Bama Jen. Yankee Watchdog, Florida Trucker. I'm doing this so you don't jump on me, Backwoods. He dares you. He dares you to go check his content out. Michael, how are you doing? Mimi's Mountain Home, Explicit something, Barracuda. When my eyes are crossed, I just smoked a Churchill. I got proof. Backwoods seen it. Sean, what's going on, brother? McBean, how are you? Suburban. Greg, good to see you, brother. Two-wheel prepper. Lewis Taylor, what is up? If you folks have topics and questions throughout, put them in all caps. We will try to grab them, but we'll see. We're going to start with HR 6090. What a bill this one is, Backwoods.
Boy. Why not start out by just firing everybody the fuck up, man? I mean,
Get him. Get him.
By the way, just real quick, I do want to apologize for last week. Man, the rain, it was storming. And then when it quit storming, I had to work. And then it stormed more, and so I couldn't. When it's storming outside, like lightning and stuff, I have to unhook my internet and all that from here. Because it's not supposed to be out here, but they know it's out here. The dude showed me on the tablet, they can show where, from the Wi-Fi box or whatever that they call that thing. And so, yeah, it was, I got lightning struck here one time close by, and it popped everything in here, and it blew out that damn box in there. And they replaced it the first time, but they said the next time I was going to have to replace it. And it's like $400, man.
Sounds like you fence riding to me.
Well, huh?
You're popular, man. Look, people were asking, where's Backwoods? Where's Backwoods? Man, you work a job outside of YouTube. Number one. Okay, so sometimes you just can't do it. And then when you get storms, again, you're in Arkansas. They'll get y'all updated eventually down there.
30,
the modern amenities are coming down y'all's way. Give it about 50 years.
I did 31 properties in the last 2.5 days. So
that's a lot.
So anyway, back to
HR 6090.
6090.
Your favorite bill.
Man, let me tell you something, y'all. The Bible talks about in the end times, and stuff, and that we would be, that Christians would be persecuted, for believing, in Jesus's name. And this HR 6090 is a perfect example of it. Yes, it because in the bill, it says that using the symbols and images associated with classic anti-Semitism, basically claims of Jews killing Jesus are blood libel. Now it says that in the bill. These are from Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Vivek has posted this. So I know,
Put it in layman's terms, because I don't think people understand. You were explaining to me backstage what this actually means. If this passes, it's done passed through the House.
So basically, yeah, it passed. It already passed. They voted on it last night. It passed through the House. And so basically, from what, I know, there's going to be some people out there that disagree with me, because anytime you start talking about the Bible and everything, you got people that think this way and that way and this way and all that. But I'm going to tell you the way I believe, and I really don't give a shit what the rest of the people think. How about that?
There it is. Truth bomb number one.
So, anyway, so basically, the Jews, the higher ups, or however, whatever they're called, the elite Jews or whatever, didn't like what Jesus was claiming, being Son of Man. And so they took him to Pontius Pilate, who then in turn took him to Herod. And Herod found no fault. He was like, so basically, because Pontius Pilate was the governor of Rome, so what that did was basically Herod turned it back over to the state,
Right.
and so Herod actually didn't want him to didn't really want to charge him. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of was like, so he left it up to the people. Well, the people were, his people were the Jews. You see what I'm saying? So they said, put him on the cross, crucify him. So that right there, in turn, this bill is actually telling you can't tell the truth. And
Right.
so you can have these other religions that may say something different, but see, we have to remember that we have freedom of religion in this country. So therefore, my religion says that the Jews killed Jesus. And so now we're just going to do away with the First Amendment, and no freedom of religion.
With this bill, if you try and explain that, like literally you're spreading the gospel in that way, you can be fined or even put in jail if this thing passes, because you're talking negatively about the Jewish people at that point.
Yeah, and so you got to also understand the fact that you got all this AI technology, right? And
Right.
it can do facial recognition, all that stuff, and put you right into the system, and know exactly who you are. And so if you're out there, let's just say me, and I'm just going to use Bama Jim, because I know she's a Christian, and let's say me and Bama Jim were standing there talking, and we was, I was like, yeah, Jews did this, and Pontius Pilate and all this, and this AI technology picks up on us and knows what we're saying. The next thing Bama Jen and I know, we're getting fines in the mail, hey, you get $5,000 fine for this.
Yeah.
This is
and the House, again, the House passed this, no problem.
No problem.
Everybody else is distracted. The House pushed this on through to the Senate.
Yeah, while we were distracted with the pro-Palestinian protesters and living life and everything else, Israel, two different peoples know the difference. Yeah, see, and I've talked about that before. Oops, I've said I talked to my wife. She's a whole lot more educated on the Bible than I am, and I asked her that question. I said, is the Jews that are in Israel right now the Jews of the Bible that Jesus speaks of as far as it goes for? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Is him saying the King of Jews and such or whatever? But is that the right ones? You know what I'm saying? Or is this a different sect of them? That are not.
And here's the thing with me. Like, I know there's some people in chat that are not Christians, and to each their own, freedom of religion, right? But it's not going to stop here. Okay, it's not going to stop here. If Christians do not have freedom of religion, it's going to bleed over to other people as well at some point. I mean, this is straight on persecution, man. You're being told with a legal document that I believe is highly illegal, to be honest with you, that you can't spread certain parts of the gospel.
Right on. Right on.
J954, thank you.
Thank you, J9. Yeah, right on, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, everybody will bow before God. Every knee, will bow and every tongue will confess. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Yeah, Florida man, that's exactly what's going on here, and you can see this with all these pro-Palestinian protesters as well. They're tearing down, Christian things and stuff. And so, like I read the other day where someone got arrested and got convicted for, man, a pretty good long time for praying, just simply praying at an abortion clinic here in America. Not somewhere else, here in America. That's all they were doing was praying. They were being peaceful. They were not shouting. They were just praying. It was a Christian, praying at an abortion clinic, and that's what happened, man. They got arrested and they've been tried and convicted, man.
As crazy as that sounds, we're just getting started. This madness is just starting. You know what I mean? People are saying in chat, and they're right, we should expect this. It's already been, told, it's spoken on in the Bible, but it's just going to get worse from here on out. The government, same thing with the Patriot Act, man. They either create a problem, it seems like, or they allow the problem to happen, and then they legislate a solution. In this case, I don't think it's legal. Like, how can you take freedom of speech away? You know what I'm saying? How can you do that? How can you put limits on that?
Well, that's the whole point. Is it's killing the First Amendment, man, all the way around. They're hitting the speech and religion in this bill. And it's really a damn shame, man, because you know what? I'm an American and I can worship who the fuck I want to worship. I can dress the way I fucking want to dress, and I can say what I want to say. I understand there's consequences for certain things that you say, but me saying that Jesus, is my savior, I mean, hey,
that's going to be considered hate speech.
For it, bring it on. Bring it on. Sorry, go ahead.
You ain't got to be sorry, man. This is a radioactive podcast. So here's what I don't understand. Maybe you can explain this to me. So our government, again, this has already passed through the House, going to the Senate now. It's probably going to pass there, and Joe Biden's going to sign off on it if it does.
Oh, absolutely.
They're so concerned about protecting Jewish people in this country, which I don't, to be clear, I don't think they should be targeted. I don't care for these protests once they get illegal. I don't think you should be able to intimidate people and stuff like that. I believe in protest. But here's the deal. Also, while everybody's been distracted, the refugee admissions program.
Yes.
So Biden and his administration are talking about bringing refugees from Gaza, they're currently in Egypt, to the United States. The only criteria is if they have family that's already in the United States. So on one hand, they're telling us you can't say certain things or you're going to be fined or in prison. On the other hand, they're bringing people that they know are going to have a hatred for the Jewish people to the United States of America. How does that even make sense, brother?
Well, it makes sense in the takedown of America. The Biden administration is very clear in what they are doing, that they want to take down America and change it. It's a continuance of the Obama administration when he said, I'm going to fundamentally change. I want to fundamentally change America. And that's what's happening in front of our eyes. With them bringing these Palestinians over here and resettling them, the whole thing with, if you've got family over here, man, do you realize how many of them people are already over here and they're undocumented? So who the fuck knows? So how can you prove anything that they are family members or not? But what they can do, see, is go, yeah, that's my cousin over there. You know what I'm saying? Some pro-Palestinian that's at one of these colleges right now, because there are plenty of them jokers over here that are Palestinians that are agitators, and they are terrorists, and they are leading some of these protests. And all they've got to do is say, "Oh yeah, Akmod over there, is my cousin." How can they prove different? Because Akmod or whatever his name is over there is freaking here illegally too.
All right.
You see what I'm
And
saying?
these people that they're talking about bringing over, these are people that Egypt knows these people are an issue. They don't want them in Egypt.
There ain't
They're
nobody
trying to
over
find a
there.
place to dump these people.
Nobody over there wants them in the Middle East.
And that in itself tells you something. If countries in the Middle East think these people are too violent and too extreme, why would we bring them into the United States of America when at the same time we're trying to pass this hate speech bill?
They're building an army against the Christians and the Americans, and that's what they're doing. The Biden administration. I'm telling you, Joe Biden is a traitor. So is Obama. They are traitors to this country. And they're doing this on purpose, man. It's kind of like this. The Biden administration, or rather a lot of Democrats, a lot of these lefties, and even some Republicans that they originally said that shutting down the Russian pipeline would cripple their economy. And then they turned around and shut
ours down.
our pipelines. So what does that tell you? I mean, all you got to do is be able to see a little bit outside of the box. Man, they're shutting down our pipeline. Well, why? Climate change. What? Wait. But you said that Russia, by shutting down their pipeline, it would cripple their economy. And now you're doing it to us.
Yeah, they're doing it to us on purpose, to cripple our economy on purpose. Backwoods, when are Americans going to wake up? When are they going to stop being distracted by the stupid stuff? Doomsday plane in the air. When are they going to start focusing on the real deal stuff?
When they get hit in the mouth. And people are been getting hit in the mouth already with the, let's say the economy. We got all this inflation, and I've seen where they're saying it's anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 more a year for you to live. And sometimes it's even more than that, depending on where you live. Go ahead.
Thank you, J954. Appreciate that very much. We appreciate y'all's support over here because we were talking earlier. This is going to get flagged. We know it. Their support links down in the video description if y'all want to do that. I think they're pinned as a comment too.
There's a question.
But yeah, I mean, maybe shoot a thumbs up, hit subscribe, go check Backwoods channel out. Don't be browbeat into subscribe. And if you don't like him, he don't care.
don't subscribe to him just because someone said so.
If you can't handle the truth, do not hit subscribe on his channel.
And I swear I'm fixing to start putting out some more videos, but my phone is so full from the videos I made before, because I use some AI stuff, just to play around, and it takes a lot of room up in my phone. So I've got to get it all transferred over and yada yada. I'm work on that over the next few days.
You gotta get you one of those free Obama phones.
All right.
They got lots of memory. Yeah. I think there will be one. What do you think, Backwoods?
Well, the plan for the Biden administration is for there not to be one, because one, you got to understand that the Biden administration is preparing to declare a climate emergency, and that unlocks a vast amount of presidential powers. And with bringing these people over and letting the border be open, and then these pro-Palestinian protests and this stuff, as summer comes in and it starts warming up, people's tempers flare a lot more the hotter it gets. And so you have to take all this into the realization of, it would be real easy for them to say it's a climate emergency. See, it's so hot that and the climate is so messed up that it's making people mad. It's making people upset, and people are protesting, and people are tearing stuff up, and we got to do this climate emergency, which can easily fall into martial law. And you also have all the stuff going on in Russia, Ukraine. You got all the stuff going on. You got Taiwan, China. You've got all this stuff going on with Palestine, Israel. Attacks start happening here because we know that there's people here that want to do harm to America and Americans. So it would be, I mean, I'm gonna say, if they can get away with it, if there's any way possible, they're going to keep us from an actual election.
You the man. I'm not sure what you mean. Do I think the climate's in emergency mode? No, but I do think they're going to try and push the climate stuff
Oh, absolutely.
to obtain goals. Yeah, I'm biting on that. I think they are going to push it. As far as the election goes, what I think is going to happen, just my personal opinion. Give me 1 second. I'll try and dig it up there, Waters Family Homestead. In my opinion, I think what's going to happen is, I think things are going to be so chaotic. There's going to be so many protests that it's going to intimidate some people not to go to the polls. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you really want to, if you're voting for Trump, for example, do you really want to go to the polls when there are 200 pro-Palestinian people standing outside the poll place protesting, and things could get violent at any point in time?
Yeah, so that's the whole thing, man, is the whole climate deal. I don't think it's I think it's weather modification, man. Myself, I think they're causing it. And I've got some videos. It's one of them rabbit holes, but I got some videos saved that I was checking out, and the damn thing, seriously, you can see just before all them tornadoes formed the other day, you can actually see waves on the radar, and you can see the waves, and I think they were energizing them storms. That's my personal opinion. People can say what they want, but I mean, I think the climate emergency is a hoax. I think that we, as human beings, just saying, as human beings, I think that the people that think that we can cause, without some type of modification, that we can just cause the weather, because Mother Earth is way more powerful than we are. It was set in motion by God. God is more powerful. So there is no man-made stuff other than, like I showed the video the other day of all the crisscrossing going on in the skies with the airplanes and the trails going across there, and it's crisscrossing everywhere, and you could see it starting to cloud up. And then for the next 3-4 days, that was another reason why I had to miss last week, because of the storms, man. And there was more tornadoes going on. Man, we set a record, I think, the other day. It was like 118 tornadoes in just a few hours. You know what I'm saying, man? And it's just, this stuff is gotten ridiculous, man. And I just think, as humans, that it goes to show the arrogance. It's just like the Tower of Babel. If you think about it, the Tower of Babel, the humans got to thinking that they could just build, something to go up to heaven, and not have to worry about, God or anything, or any of the sacrifices or any of that. And, God struck it down. And so it just goes to show that humans have been arrogant like that for many, many years. And Americans are arrogant as well. And there's about to be a hit in the mouth that to Americans that is going to.
We need it. We need it, honestly, brother.
I'm telling you, it's going to set some people on their ass. I'm telling you, you better prepare your mind for what your heart is going to have to tell you to do.
Thank you, Shady. I didn't even know about this. Did you know about this, Backwoods?
Yeah,
Colorado.
One of my really good friends I hang out with on Friday night and Saturday night a lot of times backstage is Yankee Watchdog, and he lives in Colorado. So he
time to be an outlaw, Shady. If it comes down to it, man.
Y'all got me in preach mode. Killing time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, guys. You know, this whole bill with the HR 690, and then the climate emergency and everything. I mean, bro, you got to know this is leading towards them trying to make it to where there's not an election, because Trump is. Dude, they're fudging the numbers like hell for Biden, and Trump is still smoking them in the polls.
There are a few states now where Kennedy's out polling Joe Biden. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's an election, and if it's a fair election, I know that's a huge reach, right? Mm-hmm. Biden has no chance right now because a lot of people, I think, have buyer's remorse. They're not going to vote for him again.
Absolutely.
Money affects everybody, Democrats and Republicans, you know what I'm saying? And they're tired of the taxes that he lied about. Did he lie? He said he's not going to increase taxes. Was that a lie, Backwoods?
Man, that joker ain't said the truth. And, man, everything that comes out of that man's mouth is a lie.
Backwoods, John, do you think protests move into the cities when college is closed for the summer? I do, too, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is just the prequel.
Oh,
we're getting ready to see. Is it going to be the same crowd? Is it going to be people with rags on their heads, or are we going to get back to the flip flops and the trash can shields?
Oh no, it'll be with the pro-Palestinian movement, and they're fixing to bring more of them in. Man, that ought to tell you what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? I mean, these are the things that you have to look at when you're looking at a situation. Is you have to look more into the situation than just what you see, because it's that stuff that you don't see is what can get you. And when you start to see that the pro-Palestinian protests that's going on now, they're going to get them off these campuses. Last night at UCLA, man, they arrested over 300 people, and most of them wasn't even students. And
they were folks that agree with protests. They were breaking the law. Like, they had taken zones completely over, barricaded it, and said these are liberated zones or something, liberation zones. Can't do that, man.
I'm gonna tell you, even though I feel that they're the enemy, I would stand up for their right to protest peacefully, to stand out there and chant whatever it is they want to chant, death to America, whatever. Because if we're going to have freedom of speech, we have to have freedom of speech.
Right.
So, there's consequences for that speech. But once they started blocking people, and, they wasn't going to let a couple of janitors loose the other day, and I think it's Columbia and Hamilton Hall. And, when you start seeing this stuff, and then that they're fixing to bring a whole bunch of them in, because if they're telling you they're trying to find a way, bro, that means they are on their way. These Palestinian people, they're going to be here, and they're going to bust out into these groups, man, and teach terrorism, because that's all they are over there. Fuck Palestine, bunch of terrorists.
Just to be clear, folks, my position on it is I don't support any of these countries. America first. America
Yeah,
first.
me
I don't
too.
want to see any money going to Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, Russia, none of it. Sorry, South Korea, you're on your own too, son. You know,
I'm
we got to support people at home first. And then if we still have money left, support the allies. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have the money right now. It's crazy. But when these people get here, Dynamite wanted me to ask you specifically when these terrorists get here and things kick off, Backwoods, what kind of an American are you?
lock, load, and ready to get it done, bud. I've already proved what kind of American I am. I already stood up out there against the Antifa BLM during all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So um, I proved then. You know, I'll stand and fight. It's you know, it's when it's go time, it's go time. Let's fucking do it. You know, bro, look, because I know I cuss a lot and I drink and I smoke and and all
You
this and all.
cuss?
I'm just a terrible Christian, but I am still a Christian and I have been saved by the blood of Jesus Christ, and no man can taketh away that from me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not scared to die. I know where I'm going.
Right.
I'm not scared. If if I die tonight, it'll be okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything's going to be just fine. That's what kind of an American I am. I'm American first.
What do you think about this comment?
America.
Simply Tony says we need the old America back. I personally don't think we're ever going to see the old
Never
America
going to
again.
happen.
It's gone.
It's never going to happen.
We're going to be fighting for the new America. You know, we could become a communist country. We could look like Palestine before it's over. Or the constitutionalists might have something to say about it, and we might get a lot closer to what it looked like in 1776.
Well,
Might have a big old party.
everybody's got to understand, man, that it's you're going to have to deal with it one way or another. It's you're not going to just be able to sit back and do nothing. You're there. It's coming down to the point to where you're going to have to stand up and fight, or bow down on your knee and say, I accept the all the stuff y'all are doing. I accept the beast system. I mean, that's the
A
only
lot of
choice you're
people
gonna
are
have.
accepting it. That's the problem, man. A lot of
Well,
people are
absolutely.
okay with it as long as they get to grill out, as long as they get their expensive coffee. I'm drinking cheaper coffee this morning. You know, I do drink coffee, but as long as they're not inconvenienced all that much, man, they'll accept anything. It seems like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, the beast system's already there, Jim Shady. I'm just saying that, you know, there's certain aspects of it that if you want to live, you have to be involved in. But it's going to come down to where you have to take that mark. I mean, it's so funny how people deny the Bible, and yet you can read the Bible and it tells you
Playing out.
exactly what the hell is going on today. It's showing you. I mean, the red heifer, the everything. Damn, I was hoping you froze up for a minute. I was about.
Oh, I can. You need me to?
No,
Ah.
exactly, Jane. I mean,
Yeah. Thank you, J954.
that's the whole thing, man. Is I don't. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not buying into it, man. I'm just not. I'm trying to do everything that I can, to stay away from it, But it is going to come down to a time to where we will have to accept the mark or not, and that's them little chips. I'm telling you, man, that
The digital currency's coming, and
it's
it's
here.
going to tie into it somehow, I think.
Well, it's already here. I mean, hell, we've had debit cards for a long
Yeah.
time. That's digital
But
currency.
we've got options right now. They're going to take away
Yeah.
the like cash options and barter and stuff like that. Here's one for you, Backwoods.
Do you think that all this technology that someone could not knowing?
Receive the mark, I think, is what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, yes and no, and I think people could, but it's not going to matter if you take the mark. You take the mark. It doesn't matter if you knew or not, because they're, especially in today's time, because we don't have we have so much technology at our fingertips, man. I mean, hell, the illegals that are coming across the fucking border are getting free phones. They're handing them out left and right. So, I
And
mean,
food
we got
cars.
technology. Yeah, we got technology at our fingertips, man. So, the whole I didn't know is not going to be an excuse, in my opinion.
I think we're going to advance to the point with technology and the all digital system to where, in order to live in society, buy, sell, and trade and stuff, you're going to have a chip in you somewhere.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, and yeah, like prepping artists and them just said, you're gonna know. Um, yeah, you will know what the mark is, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's going to be an excuse of, man, I didn't know, because they're going to basically tell you outright, that you're going to have this, or fuck them. And
That's what I'm saying. They're listening.
fuck them.
Put your listening ears on.
Listen all you want to, man. I'm not threatening not one person. I've not said anything illegal. I've not said anything that is untrue.
Well,
So,
it could be illegal at some point if this legislation passes through, man.
yeah, I agree. And if it is, I'm gonna keep on talking who I am, man, because this is America, and my fucking First Amendment right comes first. They seem to forget this, that they think they can legislate our Constitution away, and they can only do that if we allow them to. And our Constitution is what stands. That's it.
I mean,
Simple.
come to your house, Backwoods, and they said, we were watching the radioactive podcast.
Man,
You said this and this and this. We need you to come with us, please.
them
In the
jokers
shiny
is
white
going.
van.
I'm going live the instant they pull up, and I'm gonna step out that door, and I'm gonna lock that door behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you want? Well, we're concerned about some things you said. What did I say? Did I threaten someone? Well, no, not actually. Well, okay. So why are you here? You don't like what I got to say? Well, I don't like you. So,
Art Nanny, how can those college kids get the freedom of speech, but you can't? Well, the thing is, Art Nanny, a lot of them aren't even college kids there. They're just there to agitate. Now, some of them are, of course, but a lot of them that have been arrested aren't even students at the university they've been arrested at. They're just paid agitators. And they'll, like I was telling Backwoods earlier before we went live, they'll be out in an hour. They'll get arrested, spend an hour or two in jail, and be back out, heading to a different university probably.
well, Red Dog says, I don't think you like me. Every time you see my post, you get fired up. No, I mean, well, let me just put it like this. I like you from what I know of you, and but until I meet you, I mean, I can't just say you're my best friend or anything, but they're coming for you, stove. Yeah, they're coming for everything. They're coming for the guns, the stoves, everything else, and they get every bit of it, as they probably don't want it.
I believe they're going to show up at your house, take your stove, shave your beard off. They're going to have you dress up like a choir boy before it's over with.
Only after I'm dead.
So I got to mention, this has nothing to do with anything really. It has to do with Ukraine, but this is why we cannot allow a North American Union. You know what I'm talking about when I say that, Backwoods?
The
How they're
what?
trying to create a North American Union where they don't want Canada, they don't want the US, they don't want Mexico. They just want one continent like the EU. So this is one reason why Ukraine, they're running out of soldiers, and they're thinking about dropping the age down. like really low for conscription to draft people, but they're leaving it up to the EU what the age limit's going to be. Can you imagine being drafted in Ukraine or even here, but not even by your own government, by the EU telling you, hey, you've been drafted for war, by a leader in another country, brother, is what I'm saying. Can you
Yeah,
imagine a point in time where you're in the US and that happens to you?
well, that's exactly what they would like to do, to be able to control lockdowns, anytime that there's a pandemic, that they control
Yeah,
the way it is, and that they want to take states' rights away. They want to take away the country's rights, and they want you to fall in line with them.
right.
Period.
Joe has already signed some of the rights over or given the rights over, I think, to the World Health Organization, if I'm not mistaken. So if there is another pandemic, our own government, our own representatives, and I use that term loosely, can't even make the rules up for us. It comes down to doctors in another country, whether or not we're going to be forcefully given a shot or something like that.
Well, that's the whole thing, man. Is the way they want to do this is that they control it all, man. And when you really get down to what's going on, it's about world domination, and to what they say is a utopia, but it's only a utopia for them, because us peasants out here doesn't get that same kind of utopia. You know, we they want us to comply with everything. They want us to comply with exactly what they tell us, because they've got some kind of once again, that human arrogance of thinking they're somebody fucking special when they're not.
Right.
They ain't no more fucking special than I am. And let me tell you, I'm pretty special though. But anyway.
Oh, Hutch has alluded to this time and again. Yeah.
Right. But it's do you think the lockdowns will happen pre or post? Well, it'll have to be pre. I mean, that's the whole point. They can't let this election happen, because and you got to understand something. Even if this election does go off, no matter who wins, it's going to be chaos. Yeah. Because number one, you got all these pro-Palestinians out there, and they're against Biden, they're against Trump, they're against anybody that stands for Israel, and right now everybody stands with Israel in our Congress and our all three presidents.
Well, there are a few the squad members or whatever that are anti-Israel, but other than that.
But I'm saying the big majority, and so you have to understand that all three candidates are all pro-Israel in our presidential election. So regardless of who wins, it's going to be a shitstorm, man.
I think it depends on who wins. I don't think Trump would lock the American people down. I think he might declare martial law in certain cities to get things under control. But he's going to keep sending money to Israel. He's going to continue to back Israel. Kennedy, there's no telling what that man's capable of. And Joe Biden, he'd lock you down the day after the election. He doesn't care. What's he got to lose?
Yeah, because that is one thing that you got to understand, is that if Biden does win, if they cheat, if he wins, whatever, however, if he is inaugurated in, you got to understand that it's really done. I think we're pretty much done now, but I'm talking about it's really done. It's over.
I agree with you. I think it's done, but I think it's going to take some time. But if Biden gets reelected, it's going straight off a cliff.
It's
no time at all at that point.
Yeah, it's done. And so,
can you imagine the stuff he would push with 4 more years?
Man,
we'd be living on reservations at that point. Christian reservations, you know what I'm saying?
We'll be living in cities
or camps,
because they're in
cities, camps.
You can already see they're wanting to try to get people to to move out of where we live now. You know, they want us in the cities where they can lock us down.
Milton Roots, yeah, that's a fair comment. I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah, yeah,
Biden's in charge anyway, but to the
yeah,
same effect, they're going to run it off a cliff. Whoever's pulling his strings.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, he'll never make it another 4 years.
Yeah.
But you know that
But then Kamala Harris, I mean, are you
camel
kidding
toe,
me?
not
What kind of
camel
president would
toe.
she be?
It's camel toe.
My
Camel toe.
apologies.
Camel
I didn't
toe.
know.
Camel
I've never
toe.
been there and done that, so I don't know.
Camel toe. 14 karat gold knee pad Harris.
You speak like you speak from experience there. You
Man,
been there, Backwoods, have you?
I'm glad that I never had that pleasure.
Are you sure? I don't know if you could pass polygraph on that one.
I can guarantee you I can pass that polygraph.
You hadn't mowed her lawn or anything commercially
Oh no.
or otherwise?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, no. It's scary. Yeah, no matter how it goes. Thank you, Art Nanny. No matter how it goes, no matter if it's a fair election, if somebody cheats, it doesn't matter at this point. Like, again, Kennedy, he's picking up steam, but
It's
I don't necessarily trust him.
something everybody's got to understand. So we know that there's several of our House of Representatives who are calling for vacate of Speaker Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Well, the problem with it is that there's enough Republicans in there that will vote with the Democrats, and it will be Hakeem Jeffries in that speaker's position.
Yeah.
They've already said that if Trump wins, they're not going to certify the election. They're going to do exactly
that would trigger a civil war.
They're going to do exactly what they are charging and putting Trump through court right now for. They are putting Trump through court for fake electors and all that, and yet every single one of them, remember the Al Gore thing? Had all them different electors. They said it did it in 2016. They've always done this. But now all of a sudden it's a big deal because Trump's doing it. And, you know, but they're turning around and admitting that they're going to do exactly what they are claiming Trump did.
That's got to be a line in the sand, doesn't it, for conservatives?
Man,
you would think, right,
dude? I'm not even. You know what? I'm not even going to give an opinion on that because I would have thought the line in the sand for conservatives would have been a long while back. At least during the Antifa BLM riots.
Yeah.
And then at least during the lockdowns. I would have thought that would have been enough. I mean, for God's sakes, we couldn't even get freaking toilet paper. Man, you want to talk about pissing some folks off? That's what I would have thought. It was like, damn. Yeah. But you know, that wasn't enough.
And baby formula was another big one, right?
And we see, baby formula, and we see all these bills being passed and all this money going to these endless wars. And I would have thought that would have been enough. So, man, I really hate to say, yep, that's going to be enough, because like I said, I proved what kind of American I was during the Antifa BLM. I went and showed up. I went there and showed up and was ready to do whatever was necessary to, protect our who we are as Americans. You know what I mean? You don't get to go over there and burn down people's businesses and shit, because you're pissed off about something. You can stand out there and protest all you want. But, that was my line in the sand. And after I seen that nobody else wanted to show up, 15 fucking people showed up. Man, I took away my line in the sand and I said, you know what? If everybody starts to buck up and start a revolution, then I'll join in. Otherwise, I ain't starting shit. I ain't going. I ain't involved. Fuck it. I'm going fishing. I'm going hunting. I'm cutting grass. making my money. We're going to have a meetup here next month in Missouri, 6th through the 9th. And we're gonna go over there and we're gonna have a great time and we're gonna enjoy ourselves, and that's the way it has to be, man.
I honestly think I'm going to go a different way on this. I honestly think that it would be a line in the sand, not necessarily because the people would finally wake up and rise up, but knowing Donald Trump. And if they didn't certify him as the president and he won a free and fair election, he's popular with a lot of people in the military. And I think some of the military, like the high rollers and heavy hitters in the military, because Trump immediately would say this is a coup. And I think he starts getting governors on board. He starts getting some of the military on board. And then when conservatives see that movement, maybe some conservatives at that point would nut up and join the movement. But Trump would not just fade away at that point. He would be throwing, you know how Trump is, man. He would be putting out 50 tweets a day saying this is a coup, I'm the president, yada yada yada. And again, a lot of first responders love him, the military loves him. You know, then we would be stuck
The
trying to
unions
figure out
love
who the
him too.
president was. Who?
The union workers.
Yeah.
I watched one of the big head of some union in New York, and he said all their people was voting for Trump. That a main majority of them were voting for Trump. Jane Ann asked, y'all having a meetup out in the Ozarks? Yeah, we're in Missouri at Palm de Terre Lake at it's at Pittsburgh Campground, 6th through the 9th. Hutch and I are going to be doing a stream here in pretty soon. Here in a few days, or whenever he's ready, and we're going to do an etiquette stream on.
You know what I want to see, man, from the meetup? I want y'all to go live. I want you to wear a lady's wig and get on the back of his motorcycle and let him ride you around.
See, it's all out the door. He sold his motorcycle.
Oh, man, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up comments here for you. Yeah, that would have been hilarious, right, Teresa? But yeah, no motorcycle doesn't really work. You'd have to go with the Huffy or something at that point.
I do got a mountain bike if he wants to pedal.
Yeah.
I got a mountain bike.
Wear a wig on the back and be giddy like a girl.
Right.
Woo, let's slow down.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it still wouldn't be the weirdest thing that you would probably see. Here in the United States of America, it's like Halloween 24/7 now.
Yes.
Hair God's got a vintage motorcycle.
Oh.
Do what?
Sally, a little bit ago in the chat, said the 10th Amendment assures that the liberty belongs to the people, and when government oversteps the Constitution and limits our liberty, the states and we the people have the right to take action. And I agree with that. I mean, there's the Constitution is very clear about the action, and the Second Amendment is very clear of why. If you go and read the writings of our forefathers, that they all tell you about these things, about the limited government, the Second Amendment, all this kind of things. And I seen Shitty Pants Nadler, Jerry Nadler, they were talking about the Second Amendment, and he goes, you mean to tell me that means you can overthrow the government, use the force against the government? And I think it was Chip Roy, or it was one of them. Maybe it was Massey. I can't remember, but he was like, yeah, that's exactly what it says. That's exactly what it says. And that is. But see, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to be a part of that, So, man, I'll tell you, Please say again where in Missouri, trying to see a travel time from here. It's in it's at the Pittsburgh campground at Palm de Terre Lake.
I wonder, veterans, you know what I'm saying? That have sworn oath to the Constitution. I wonder how that's going to play out. Because you know it's coming, man. Eventually, especially if we get 4 more years of Biden or whatever, 2 years and then 2 years of Kamala Harris, you know, eventually they're going to try and do away with Constitution or say, hey, you know, we don't really need this anymore. It's outdated. It's not inclusive enough. That sort of deal. Um, that has to be a line in the sand. I mean, at that point, if people don't do anything at that point, we become, let's say, a communist nation. We deserve to if people aren't willing to stand up.
It's the 6th through the 9th in June. So anyway, yeah, I know I don't have to have storage to do lives, Roger. But the problem of it is that we're getting so many thunderstorms right now. Like let me see. I'll pull up the weather 10-day forecast. Thursday, 70% chance of storms. Friday, 50%. Saturday, 60%. Sunday, 70%. Monday, 50%. Tuesday, 40%. It's all thunderstorms. Then Wednesday, it's going to be clear. And then Thursday and Friday, some more 40 and 50% chances of rain and thunderstorms.
It's all that man-made climate change, brother.
Right.
Yeah, Pot B, I agree. I think this election is either a temporary fix, like a Band-Aid, or the breaking point. I don't think it'll be North versus South. I don't know how a civil war would play out. I haven't seen the Civil War movie, but from what I understand, it's terrible. I don't know what the states would look like when they split up, or if we're looking at regions, or if they're 3 or 4 sides. You know, it's a gray area at that point.
We're in Luke 200. Robin, we're in Luke 200 at the Pittsburgh campground on Palm de Terre Lake. Yeah, I did want to hit. I know we're already at an hour, but I did want to hit if you can.
Let's hit it, brother.
So
go in on it.
On this these protests, these pro-Palestinian protests, you know, it's funny because of all people, Mayor Adams done a video.
Yeah.
Spoke the other night, last night or whatever, and said that it was disgusting. He was disgusted by the fact that they would allow other countries' flags to be flown on these campuses, and that the American flag is the only one that should be flown. And I was kind of like, okay, what is this about, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, they've got, I know in Texas, at the University of Texas, they tried one of them encampments, and they was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. And they went in and shut it down pretty quickly, and in fact expelled the students who were involved.
Good.
And so, yeah, you know, if it was me, and I was in charge, and this was happening in my city, my town, whatever it is, and I was in charge,
yeah,
I would, the first thing I would do is shut the water and lights, shut the power off, shut the water off, everything. You get nothing there. And then the next thing I would do is surround that encampment with fencing and bunches and bunches of people, and I would call up the patriots and anybody that wants to be involved and be like, we're going to not only blockade them in, but we are going to stop any aid that goes to them, any things, food, water, any of that.
People will say that's mean, but I have no problem with that. Like, if you're going to take land claim it's an autonomous zone, like a new country.
That's an
Bro, you
occupation.
don't even have rights at that point. You're not an American anymore. You're suspending your rights. You know what I'm saying? You have the right to remain silent and get dealt with at that point.
Well, and that's the whole thing, man, is that, you know, again, you know, they have a right to protest. That's, you know, to
In
peaceful assembly.
America. In
Yeah,
America, but
peaceful assembly.
once they take an area over and say this is
But
not America anymore,
yeah,
what
and
rights?
well, the whole thing about it is it's an occupation, because once they started making you have a wristband or whatever, or you know, and the only way you could get a wristband is by claiming support that you're pro, you know, you're pro Palestinian, and you got to denounce Jews, and I say that we should, you know, that I don't care if it's mean or not. I could care less. You know, fuck Palestine and fuck the pro-Palestinians. If they're American, that is hollering death to America and pro-Palestinian, and that, once you start saying death to America, in my opinion, you're the fucking enemy, and you should be dealt with immediately, because, you know, look at sovereign citizens, man. Take sovereign citizens, for instance. You know, police, cops.
Palestinians on the list.
Oh, absolutely, pro-Palestinians go on the list.
Go ahead, man. I'm listening.
So yeah, you know, so these all these people, man. I fuck them, man. I don't care if it's mean. Once you start hollering death to America, it's over, man.
Yeah.
You're the enemy.
Yeah.
And the sovereign citizens, you know, they don't want to go by any of the laws or anything like that. You know, they believe in the true freedom, which I'm not a sovereign citizen. I believe that you have to have some rules and laws, man. I mean, even Jesus made, you know, even God made laws. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's everything that you do, you have to base it off of what God, you know, does, at least for me. And that's, you know, there are laws, and there has to be.
I got blasted the other day in the comment section by a pro-Palestinian. I don't know if it's a protester or you know how it is. They just on the couch, pro-Palestinian. But they were upset because I said, you know, I would chain the doors shut, turn the water and the power off. And they're like, you know, they called me a fascist. They said, we have the right to protest and burn the American flag. But once you start taking hostages like the custodians, you got the right to get the brakes beat off of you, is the rights that you have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're illegal at that point.
Man, and I'm going to tell you, they've used the word racist, fascist, shit, I can't even think of all the damn words. I don't even give a shit no more. Okay, I'm a fascist, you know, prove it, motherfucker. You know, I'm so sick of these people, you know, I'm not putting up with them no more. I'm not. I wasn't to begin with going to put up with them, but I'm just saying, I don't care. You know, I grew up old school, man, where sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And
Right.
that's just flat out. You can call me whatever in the fuck you want until you can prove it. Until you can prove it, it's nothing but words from somebody that I don't even know. I mean, is it just, you're talking about somebody that left a fucking comment on your channel that you never even met the person. Like you really give a shit what that person thinks.
Well, what they do is they put you in a corner, and you're either with them, you're either pro-Palestine, Backwoods, or you're against them. They can't fathom that somebody just doesn't care either way. You know what I'm saying? I'm pro-USA. I don't give a crap what's happening over in the Middle East. Do not care. One iota. Let's get the veterans off the streets.
Man,
that's what I care about.
We got veterans on the street. We got young people, what I would call children, because I have kids their age. We've got children on our streets out there shooting up dope, and the fucking state is giving them the needles and all this other shit. They're allowing it. and these people are just laid out on the sidewalk, man. You know what I'm saying? Just so when I see all that in my country, I don't give two fucks about Palestine, about Israel, about Ukraine, North Korea, South Korea. I don't give a shit about none of them. I give a shit about
Or
America
anybody's
first.
feelings that does care about them. You have the right to care about Palestine if you want to.
And it's
Old
and,
John's got the right to say, I don't care.
and I've
Do
seen
not care.
people. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've seen people that are blind faith, pro Israel, no matter what, just pro Israel. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really pro Israel. I am pro what the Bible says, but what I see going on in Israel is not what the Bible talks about. So you see what I'm saying? I agree with Israel in the Bible is the last stand. That's the all the come against them and everything. But I get that part, and I'm pro that. You know what I'm saying, for that Israel. But I'm not real sure that the Israel that I see right now is what what I mean.
Yeah. This is what I care about. Close the border.
Yeah, close the
Close the
border.
border. I don't care about these other countries right now. Canada's up against it. They got a tyrant in charge. He needs to be ousted, to be honest with you. And we're not too far behind. I mean, close the freaking border. Close the border. Keep the money at home that we do have left. I mean, this dude, Biden's administration is like a cyanide pill for this country at this point. I mean, they're just trying to end it as quickly as possible. Uh,
So
yeah, Jace Medical. I've heard nothing but good things.
yeah, and yeah, Ark Nanny, the Bible says pray for peace in Jerusalem. We should pray for peace everywhere as well. And I do. I hate war, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm at heart. It's weird to explain. I would rather walk away from some bullshit than to get involved in it. Like in my everyday life, I would just soon be left the fuck alone and not get involved in this. I've got a daughter going to college right now, and I ask her a couple of times a week, is anything starting up yet? She said, no, nothing. And I explained to her explicitly, do not get involved. Do not. These people are insane. They don't even know. These stupid people don't even realize what the fuck they are protesting. They don't have
I've seen them asked on camera, and they don't even know what Palestine stands for.
No.
It's just the newest thing.
Yeah, they're just out there just whatever, And I've been seeing a lot of these college campuses that are starting to expel these people. And actually, the University of Texas trespassed them forever. They're not allowed back on University of Texas campus. Period. And I think that's the way. I think there ought to be a letter that comes out from the presidents of these colleges, the highest up, that says, look, if you want to stand out there and peacefully protest, that's fine. But when you start doing what you're doing, you're going to be expelled. And they should get together and say, you may not be able to go to any college, period. Which,
yeah. I got to study gender studies at a community college, son. Yeah. You're done with the universities. That you're on the wrong side of the protest anyway when you make Mayor Eric Adams sound like a conservative.
I know, right?
That's an eye opener. Like, that should be your voice of reason when Mayor Eric Adams is standing up there saying, "What are y'all doing? This is America."
Well, G-Maw, I can show you where Palestine is according to what they say it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's definitely history there. So Palestine was there. For those that don't know, Jews did get relocated there to escape the Holocaust. So that really did happen. And then the Jewish people expanded and basically took Palestine. I'm not going to sit here and argue that. But what does that have to do with me? Why am I paying for it? You know what I'm saying? Why
Exactly.
are our veterans out in the streets in order to compensate for that? That's what I
Exactly.
have a problem with. You know,
Yeah.
let Israel and what's left of Palestine go at it. Let them figure out
Well,
who owns what over there. What does that have to do with the United States of America? What does locking down a campus in the United States of America actually going to accomplish?
right.
It's stupid.
Yeah. Watchman says, show me who was the Palestinian king in history. You can't. And that's what I'm saying. They everything that I've read about Palestinians, they've been kicked out of every single place that they've ever existed.
Yeah. I mean, that this is a conflict that's been going on for thousands of years over there.
Yes.
How is locking down Columbia University going to all of a sudden fix it? You know, it's idiotic. It's just a waste of time for everybody involved. And I can't believe mainstream media is just giving it all this attention, man.
Yes. And that's yeah. I mean, dude. It's really simple to look at this, to stand back and just take a look at the overall situation of what's going on, and understand that this is an active takedown of America. America, you know, they they want to change what America is. And so,
And sadly, in some parts they have. I ain't ever been to Dearborn, Michigan, but apparently it looks like Palestine or what the Palestinians want for the rest of the country, and that's going to continue to spread, man.
see, and I don't know, like I'm not a super history buff or anything. Someone B Lim is saying England is the one that took Palestine and then relocated the Jews there, and then the Jews expanded when Palestine attacked Israel. And
Yeah.
you know, I don't know enough to argue one way or another on
I mean,
that.
I
Also,
know just a little. I know that
yeah,
Jewish people were sent there.
you know
Some
why?
of them came to the United States too during the
You know why
Holocaust
I
to
don't
escape the
know?
Holocaust.
Because I don't
Why?
give a shit. I want to know about
Yeah,
America. You
yeah.
know, and that's the whole point.
Prior to World War II, I'm not an expert whatsoever in that whole region. I just know they're always at war. They're always at war. Jewish people and Palestinians cannot coexist peacefully.
Right.
So why would we be signing legislation to protect Jewish people in this country and also importing Palestinians? It's lunacy.
So, you know, that's the whole thing, man. I you know, the dude, and see, here's the really screwed up part about all of this shit is that, you know, I see multiple people in here chatting some different things. Some are agreeing, some are disagreeing, and
Yeah.
the whole sad thing about it is we only know what they fucking tell us. We weren't there, so
Yeah.
we can't really
Yeah.
know for sure what happened, because we know that we've been lied to most of our
Yeah.
damn lives anyway. Just like the moon landing. I mean, man, that shit was fake as hell. We ain't nobody ever landed on the damn
Let's
moon.
drop some truth bombs. You want to
Man,
do it? The moon landing was fake. Hitler didn't die in a bunker at the end of World War II. What else you got, man?
yeah, he didn't die in a bunker, man. I mean, shit, you know. So we've
NASA's
been lied
money
to.
laundering
We've, huh?
organization. NASA, they money launder. That's
Man,
why they exist.
NASA is,
Dropping nukes over here
God
this
does tell
morning.
us not to turn on, and that's what I'm saying, Captain Coral. I'm not turning on Israel per the Bible. I'm just not convinced that the Israel that is there right now is the one in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
He did. Savage Lee, Argentina I've studied that extensively, and that's my opinion. I think he
Yeah,
died in
they,
Argentina in the 1980s. But
they found some pretty good proof of that.
you don't have to stand against one or the other. You know what I'm saying? You can step
Right,
back and just not be involved. I don't want to be involved with
right,
Palestine versus, Israel. I don't want any involvement in it. It doesn't mean I'm standing against this side or this side. I'm just, what has it
right.
got to do with me?
Well, and I mean, you know, it's really a stupid move to go out and let's say, you know, let's say somebody out there in the chat world here, y'all get paid on Friday, and your bills are not paid yet. You know, your lights, water, whatever, food, yada yada, and then you go give your paycheck to somebody else. You know, just, you know, hey, let me just give my. You've got to take care of your home first, you know, and that's why I'm America, because I'm an American.
Right. Right.
You know, I was born and raised here.
You wouldn't take food out of your wife and your kid's mouth to feed somebody across town. It doesn't mean that you're heartless. It doesn't mean you hate those people. It just means you
Right.
want the people in your house to eat first. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that mentality, man? And once everybody here eats, if we have food left over, sure, help other people out. But take a
Well,
look at the economy, bro. We
yeah.
don't have the money. We don't have the money to be nation building or to be at constant war anymore. We're a bankrupt country.
And hell, Tiger 13 says the only truth I know is what happened since I was born, and we can't. And really and truly, Tiger, I mean, if you break it down, we can't even know what has happened since we were born is the truth, except for what we experienced. So that's the only truth that you can truly know is what you experience. You know, what you saw. You know, I saw that plane crash. I know that's the truth. Now, how it crashed, I just have to believe what they tell me. You know, that's what's sad about all this, man, is you can't really know. And so the best thing to do is to read your Bible and just go with what the Bible says. And I know a lot of people also say, yeah, I know, Tiger. I know, and yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Tiger, is what I'm saying. Yeah, and so, but you know, I've actually had some people tell you that, or tell me that they're not even sure what's written in the Bible is not been changed over time, and there is a possibility that happens. But I think it goes past even that. I think that it's about faith. It's about the relationship that you have. And I believe that even if someone did change some of the Bible over time, he was not born, he was hatched, right? So I think that even if people change that over time, you're reading in the faith that that's God's word and that you're believing in God's word. And you know, he said not to let any man addeth to or taketh away from my word. And so if you think about that on the larger scale, it's about what the purpose is when you sit down to read the Bible. If you sit down and go, well, I don't know if I can believe everything the Bible says because maybe it's been changed, over time. Well, then you're not doing it in good faith. So therefore,
One thing I would point to, you mentioned earlier, it's happening in real time. Like it's literally predicting the stuff we're going through right now. But to your point on history, man, I lived through 9/11, lived through the pandemic, and I can't sit here and tell you for sure that we were told the truth about either one of those. So I think about all the history that happened before I was born. How can I possibly know that we're being told the truth about it? You know what I mean? Yeah, we get lied to, folks. Sorry. The people that write history books in our own government, they lie. I know
right.
some people don't want to believe it.
Well, and they're asking how many. Who was that said that? How many books have been removed? Jeremy. How many books of the Bible have been removed? And we really can't know. We will know once we get to heaven. I believe you're going to know. You're going to know what all the questions. You're going to have the answers to, but we can't know how many's has been removed. We can't know what's been changed. It's got to be about faith. You have to have faith in God, and that's all there is to it. Without the faith, there's no point in in any of the rest of it. People don't
Yeah,
start businesses because they think they're going to fail. They have faith that they're going to succeed, or they wouldn't start the business. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same
yeah,
thing with reading the Bible. Is you've got to have the faith that what you're reading is true. And it's about the intent of that faith, that I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read the Bible, and I'm going to know that God is going to show me what I need to know.
I would just add that as much as they don't want you to read it, and they're literally trying to outlaw parts of it with this new legislation, should be enough for you want to want to go and explore it if you haven't before. They hide stuff that they don't want you to see. They're trying to do away with the Bible. I mean, it's pretty much obvious at this point. Maybe there's something to it.
I, yeah, I mean that's all there is to it. I will say, with this economy and everything, I do got the reason certain books not in the Bible because they contradict Scripture. Okay, and yeah, and I don't know, because I didn't I didn't really study. What when I started going to church and reading the Bible and being saved and all that good stuff, baptized in a lake over here is a really cool deal. Um, you know, I didn't really ever sit down to try to prove anything wrong or prove anything is contradictory or whatever. I sat down to I sat down and done it in the faith of I was being told the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I believe. And so if it's wrong, I don't think I will be punished for that, or anybody else that sits down and has the faith that what you're reading is true, because you are wanting to learn about God and you're wanting to follow what God says. So I don't believe that even if the Bible, a lot of the Bible is wrong or been changed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The faith part of it, of sitting down and believing in what you're reading, is the whole intent.
My whole thing, man, is people have spent lifetimes trying to disprove the Bible, and
Yes.
I will never understand that, because it means different things, I think, to different people. But a lot of people in chat, and myself included, that faith and that scripture helped me clean my life up, and it's helped me get out of a lot of bad places. And so if it's going to do that for me and other people like me, why would it be bad? It's not teaching us to do anything bad, to love each other,
Right.
not to covet somebody's wife, not to lie, cheat, steal, and all this stuff. Like, why spend an entire lifetime trying to disprove something
Right.
that's teaching peace? You know what I mean? I'll never understand that.
Yeah. I did want to say that with this economy and stuff, I sat down and started, going through my books and stuff and trying to figure out, when I can retire and everything through this economy. And I've,
Oh
I've,
yeah,
I've come to the conclusion that I can retire at 97 years old and I can live comfortably for around 11 minutes
yeah.
in this
It
economy.
just won't be in that house, because they're going to take your house a long time before that, brother.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'll be dead. I'm just
you
telling
got?
you. They're not
Do
coming
you
and
have
taking
any?
my shit, man. Because
You
everything
got
I
any?
bought was legal. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you have any other topics you want to hit on besides you getting your house taken?
No, I'm what? You're 100% right. Make sure you get through to Backwoods. What is? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. So anyway, I mean, because when it comes down to it, it's a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. That's the way it is with me. Yeah, I'm a sinner. I make mistakes. I'm not some role model Christian, but then again, I don't remember a part in the Bible where it said Jesus came to save the healthy. I'm just saying. I don't remember that part. It seemed like I actually remember a part that said that we were all sinners and all fall short of the glory of God. So let that be what it is.
So you get ready to hit 4,000 subscribers on your channel. And before we went live, you said, please beg people to come over there and give me a sympathy subscribe.
No, do
He's
not.
begging y'all.
Do
Come
not.
over
Don't
there
listen. Don't
out of
listen to
sympathy.
this false CNN fake information propaganda that is coming out of his mouth.
Please, he's begging right now. He's just too proud to. He's too proud to beg.
I do not.
No.
I'm
In all
telling you.
seriousness, check his channel out. Subscribe if you like what you see over there. He don't beg for subs, do you, brother?
Mm-mm.
And fair warning, you may not like what you see over there because
You may not.
he's up in your face. And you
Well,
got all them special effects and stuff too going on.
yeah. I like to. I like to make AI. I like to do a lot of editing on my videos and stuff.
Well, does anybody in chat have any last before we head off here?
Yeah,
This
y'all.
is ridiculous right here, son. I ain't got no coffee left.
Well,
Thought I was more prepared than that.
yeah, I've got a few more minutes. Don't nobody care about you, Hutch. Man,
Did you get up in Hutch's feelings, did you?
man, look, I ain't nobody even trying to hear what he's got to say.
I think you and him were live yesterday morning, weren't you? For a little while. I got to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, he was just he got another computer and was just testing out everything. So it was just a little quick live, we just hanging
Must be
around.
nice to have that kind of money, Hutch. I'm just saying. Buying all this new technology.
Well, all I'm gonna tell you, we say this every time because we get the same fucking comments every week, and we say the same
Could have made you
fucking
mad.
thing every week, and that we're on here, and I'm just gonna tell you like this. If me cussing up here offends you and you get butt hurt and you're I'm gonna go unsubscribe because he cusses, then you're not going to make it in what's coming. I'm just telling you. You best get your mind right that you are about to witness shit that you would have never thought you would have ever seen in this country. We are already seeing it. It's already happening, and it's fixing to get worse and worse and worse because it's happening. And if you
real time,
if you get offended by someone cussing, you are not going to make it, and shit hits the fan when this shit continues to get worse and worse like it's going to. Plain and simple. You better get your minds right. I say this on I've been saying this saying for a long time. When you prepare your mind properly, things will fall into place. And that means that You better grow some thick skin, because there is a lot of these people out here right now who will call you every name in the book and cuss you upside one down in the other, and follow you all the way to your vehicle and kick the window out of your damn vehicle. So I'm just telling you.
The people in this country that are in burn it down mode right now, they will call you names that Backwoods you ain't never heard Backwoods say before. They
Right.
got bad language too. They'll follow you to your car like he's saying. They'll hit you with the old Navy flip flops. They'll try and rob you. These people are out here,
Yep.
and it's just going to get worse. The more of these people, we keep importing these people from the most volatile, region in the world. These are people again that Egypt don't want. Iran, Iraq, they don't want these people because they do nothing but cause trouble.
And they're bringing
Biden's bringing them here.
Yep.
These people got mouths on them too. So it's not all. We're not in a PG-13 world anymore. I understand if you got kids sitting there, but we warn you up front.
Hold up. You need to understand that these people that they're bringing over here, these Palestinians, they're going to do way fucking worse than say bad words to you.
Yeah.
These people cut off people's heads. They believe in they're kid touchers. They will throw gay people off of roofs. Dude, I'm telling you, these people that they're bringing over here are way, way fucking worse than some bad words. So y'all better get ready. Y'all better understand what's coming. I'm just telling you. You better understand.
People will, in this community, a lot of times they'll say, well, I'm stacking ammo to the rafters. But then you start cursing on this podcast. They're like, nope.
Yep.
I don't want to hear it. Well, what are you going to do with the ammo? Exactly. Because that seems like it would be a lot more abrasive than a few dirty words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
what are you going to do with the ammo?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying, man. Just saying, guys. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Just prepare yourself, man, for what's coming. This is not fear mongering. I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm trying to wake people up and make people understand what's coming. Period. That's all. Get right with your God. I know who my God is. I can't say whose God anybody else's is, but when it all boils down to it, it's only one God that exists. And God has destroyed whole nations. We have seen we have seen nations all through, all the way through. You know what I'm saying? So, that have failed, and these nations all throughout history that have failed, and all this stuff happening. So understand, it's coming to America. We're next. I'm just telling you, we're next. Be prepared for it. It's our time.
Prepare as though we're going to have 4 more years of Joe Biden, and I pray that's not the case, but that's the worst case scenario. And bad words are not going to be what you're worried about 4 years from now if we have Joe Biden still.
I see them comments, man. I unsubscribed because Backwoods was cussing too much, and I was like, you're not going to make it. You might as well just stop watching prepping channels, because you're not going to make it. I'm just telling you.
Again, I understand, if people got little ones around, but we do everything we can to warn people. But you can't drop truth bombs and be all PG-13. I try and be PG-13, but that's just my way. I'm not always PG-13. If you ride in a vehicle with me and somebody can't drive in front of me, you will know this real quick. I just apologize later. I repent for it later.
Man, I cussed somebody up and down yesterday, man. My son was looking at me like, damn, Dad. I was like, man, get the
calm down.
Oh, man, you stupid motherfucker, man.
How fun that must be to live with Backwoods and get to see the rage and the rants 24/7.
Man, not 99% of the time, honestly, I'm laid back and I want to have fun and I laugh and joke. I'm being serious, man. I mean, me and my son, we have a great time, man, out there working and shit. We make it fun. you know, we'll be busting our ass, and we'll get in the truck, and he's like, man, I'm burning up. I'm like, man, me too, you know. And
you're scaring people, Backwoods. You're scaring people.
yeah, this, yeah, well, you know.
All right, that's all I got. Unless you got something else, Backwoods.
Hold on.
Oh
Survival
yeah,
with Terry?
yeah.
Seriously? If Backwoods at least tries to strengthen his faith in Jesus a bit, I will give him a sub. What the fuck does that even mean? I have total faith that Jesus Christ came to this earth. I've said this multiple times, and if you don't get it by now, fuck your sub. All right? Take your sub and stick it up your ass and give it to somebody else. I have total faith in Jesus Christ. And yeah, I'm not a great Christian. I understand that. But I do have faith, and that's what counts.
I believe we just went radioactive again.
That's what counts. Well, these people, man, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about, man. This is exactly what I'm talking about and why we are going down as America. I've said multiple times that I have total faith that Jesus came to this earth and died for my sins. His blood washed away my sins. And I've said this hundreds of times. So, you know.
Hey, brother, he didn't hear you. I think he joined in late.
Well, then I apologize. I apologize straight up. But I'm just saying.
So we'll just say that little rant was directed for the comments we know are coming later on. The after party crowd.
Oh yeah, never mind. No, I ain't taking that back. Fuck that. Survival with Terry. That's the one that wanted to dox Hutch. Yeah, right on. Yeah. He's the one that. Yeah, fuck that. I ain't taking shit back. Fuck you and your sub, man. Don't sub to my channel. I'll block you, man. Fuck you. Hutch is my brother. Y'all better understand something. You go after Hutch, you go after me. Hutch is my brother, and I will stand beside him. And I don't care if we all go down. If me and him both go down, I don't give a shit. But I will go down side by side with that motherfucker. I'm just telling you straight up. Hutch is my brother, and y'all better understand that. We fuck with each other a lot. But I can promise you, I'll drive up there in a heartbeat to help that man out. That's my brother. So you go after Hutch, you go after me. So I ain't taking shit back.
I'm just sitting here. I feel like I'm spectating with everybody else at this point.
I agree with that, Watchman. I agree with that. That's now see that right there is a good way to put it. I do believe in Jesus. I need to work on my spirit as well as anybody else because we're all sinners and we're all going to fall short, period. So, J9, come on. Oh.
Why you got to misgender people? Backwoods.
Man, look, you know what? I don't even care about that anymore, man. I really don't. It's like if you look like a dude, you look like a dude. If you look like a woman, you look like a woman. And what, you know, you can act and play whatever parts you want to or whatever, but you know, you're either a dude or a chick, man. There is no in between, man. Believe
there ain't a whole lot of gray area when you get right down to it.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can wear makeup, I guess, and skinny jeans. I know I'm gonna get some hate for the skinny jeans comment. No, folks, I don't own skinny jeans. Somebody asked me that yesterday. They don't seem like they'd be too comfortable. You know what I mean? Your Snickers bar be trapped, so to speak.
I'm telling you, man.
Salty Dog.
Do you know that Salty Dog? After I said that, you know, eating Snickers upside down for the veiny part on their tongue, you know that Salty Dog went out and ordered 25 cases of Snickers.
25 cases?
25 cases of Snickers. Salty Dog did.
What's he just gonna Salty Dog's in here? What are you just gonna you gonna throw them at people that piss you off, Salty Dog? You just gonna hit them in the face with a Snicker
Shit,
bar and they don't even know the meaning behind it?
Shit, he's peeling one now and turning it upside down. What are you talking about?
King size or regular, Salty Dog? I just gotta know.
Oh, they're definitely king size. They're definitely king size. Just
Oh
because
Lord.
you don't believe the way. Don't take it personal. It's because you don't believe the way they do that they do. Oh, yeah.
Stop getting your feelings hurt, Backwoods.
Man, my feelings ain't hurt, bro. I'm sitting here.
Emotional.
I'm sitting here thinking, all right, when we get off here, I need to sharpen the blades on my mowers, and I need to do some maintenance on my weed eaters. You know, I got to change the little exhaust screen on them, and because we use the shit out of the weed eaters, and but then I was also thinking, you know, it's not supposed to start storming till after dark, and it's only supposed to rain a little before that. Man, there's this lake right down the road, and I got a boat sitting out there.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, damn, I got all this fishing equipment. Man, I might just run to the lake and fish a little while.
Be sure you throw the Palestinian flag on that boat, otherwise it might get taken. It might get seized while you out on the water there.
Man, bro, I live in small town Arkansas, son. They ain't no pro-Palestinian flags flying around here. I can
They will be. He keeps bringing them in from the Middle East.
It's not going to go over well. Man, dude, we have our whole county has 17,000 people. And we have seriously, we have 25 or 30 churches in this county.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're everywhere, man. So yeah, that's how upset I am. I'm thinking about going fishing here in a little bit. I'm like, man, because it's supposed to rain.
Rainbow flag on it.
It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, man. And I've got this shop building here, and I can pull my mowers in here and change my blades and shit, which is what I do anyway. So
sounds like you're gonna have an interesting day. I'm just trying to get another cup of coffee, brother. That's my day in a nutshell. I'm picking my kids up.
Right.
You got any laughs here?
Man, just
any dirt you want to throw out on Hutch or anything before we close her down?
Nah, I mean, me and Hutch, we mess with each other, but you know, after that little ordeal right there, I'm just saying I stand with Hutch. Period.
I know you do, man.
Period.
I know it.
And but no, the White River is a pretty good ways for me, Cheryl. I have been to the White River many times. But no, the best thing, seriously, guys, don't be scared. Don't listen to the fear mongering. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. I mean, because nobody knows. Only God knows when you're gonna die. And you know what, man? Just be prepared. That's all there is to it. Don't be scared. Be prepared. And when you prepare yourself properly, when you prepare your mind properly, things will fall into place, man. There's a reason for that. So,
good advice. Anyway. I'm going to say this. Watch Kennedy. I don't trust him, man. I don't trust him. I'm just saying. Trump, when Trump won the presidency, it was all about timing. He hit it at just the right time. He knew people were pissed off. And I think Kennedy is hitting it just the right time. People are fed up with the back and forth. I'm telling you, he's out polling Biden in a couple of states, but there's just something about Kennedy, man. He's a gun grabber, I think, is what it is for me.
Hey, and by the way, everybody, y'all want to see what real homesteading, how to start it out and how to build something? Go watch Hutch's channel. He's been putting out some really good videos, and he don't have a lot of money, which a lot of us don't, and he makes things happen with what he has, and what he can come up with. And I'm telling you, if you want to see how to build a homestead from a piece of property without a lot of money, go watch Hutch's channel, man, because he is doing it for real.
But he does not like nut riders either.
No,
He don't want your sympathy sub over there.
No.
Just go check him out, and if you likes what you see, then hit subscribe. Same with Backwoods. Well, I appreciate it, brother. All the ranting and stuff like that. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the channel, for being in chat today, and listening to the rambling and all that stuff. Y'all take care, and God bless.